Thanks for coming, and thanks to Bobo Restaurant to invite me to share this platform with Professor Wu.
The second area in economics, I think that great work needs to be done, is the area of the government-linked companies. Many people have written, well, several people have written in Malaysia Kidney recently about the importance of not throwing out the baby with the bath water, saying we got to reform the GLCs, but don't privatize the GLCs. Look at how Mahathir privatized the GLCs the last time. He just gave them to his friends, to people like Tajuddin Ramli, who had no experience running anything but a financial company. Then all of a sudden he's told to fly, and MES couldn't fly when the person had no operational experience in that. So clearly what it means is privatization of that type is bad and would not work. But it doesn't mean that keeping the existing GLCs is a good idea. Keeping GLCs is basically continuing the centralization of the power of the state at the expense of the private sector. Look at Khazanah buying up real estate developers. What is it that Khazanah could do about real estate design and development that the private sector cannot do? Or rather, what can it do better than that? I think it's not possible. And when you think about it, is GLCs are instruments of political patronage. If a politician, a powerful politician is opposed to you, you tell him, don't worry, I'll give you chairmanship of this GLC. And that's not enough, another chairmanship of another GLC. And basically, these are instruments of patronage power. Another word for it is corruption. Having large GLCs is basically institutionalization of corruption as well. Is there an economic case for it? Some people say the market sometimes does generate terrible outcomes. The evils of capitalism are well known. And so we've got to prevent over-exploitation and greedy behavior by the private sector. The question is this the best way to handle the evils of capitalism? I think there are other ways to handle the evils of capitalism. You could have government agencies address those particular evils specifically. What do GLCs really do? We saw that very clearly just before the last election. Their job is to sing for their dinner. That's why we have that wonderful video of Hibatkanlah Malaysia, where all the heads of the GLCs got together and to sing for the regime. So I think there's very little case about keeping it. And all the evils of capitalism that we hear, I'm not denying that there are many defects, but I'm saying there are other instruments to handle them besides institutionalizing corruption in order to combat the evils of capitalism. The third thing on the top, so GLCs is something that can be handled very quickly. But the privatization process will be slow unless we want to just hand it off to a crony again. And that should never be the case. We have learned from the wrong privatization of the past. But that was Mahathir 1.0. So hopefully 2.0 would be different.